Necey Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, y'all, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We just got done talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. So go ahead and check out that review. I had posted a video about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. For those of you who watched that, check out that video. It's up now. And then you can also check out my little 5-minute video talking about Cynthia Bailey leaving Real Housewives of Atlanta. Do we care? Not really. So we had a really good episode of Real Housewives of Potomac, y'all. I think that this is going to be a fun little kiki. So come on in, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into Real Housewives of Potomac. Let me show y'all my little thumbnail I put together. It was something light. Something light. I wish I had like a better picture. I had to put a scholar on the thumbnail, y'all. I was super glad to see that a scholar finally used her voice to, you know, really have an opinion, especially when it mattered. And I think that's why I like a scholar. I kind of knew the whole time. I was like, I kind of like her. But at the beginning, she was giving Robyn and Gizelle benefit of the doubt. Now she was like, no, this is right and this is wrong. So yes, I'm really feeling her. Karen is here. Karen, comment below. Let me know if I'm saying your name right. Is it Karen or is it Corinne? Because I want to make sure I'm getting that right. Bertha and then Kenya. What's up, y'all? Okay. So, again, y'all, we're reviewing Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Episode 12, Reasonable or Shady, okay? Y'all, the editing on this episode was OD. The editing on this episode was hilarious, down to second pronunciation, Korean, okay. Down to Candice tiptoeing in my Jordans. Y'all know that song? Y'all remember that song? She was tiptoeing in her heels, okay? So let me talk about what all the women were doing individually. And then we're going to get into the good stuff, which is the girls hanging out in the damn driveway. They was doing the damn drive-by party. Oh my gosh. Like, girl, goodbye, okay? She had room in that house for the women to meet up, but the house wasn't looking like nothing just yet, which is why she did it the way she did it. So Gizelle, okay, we see Gizelle. She is talking to Robyn about a podcast event. Construction is all in the background. So they say that they're going to end up having the event outside. She definitely had her big lotto wig on. And I wish that I had that. Y'all need to be on Twitter. If y'all don't follow me on Twitter because I like to retweet a lot of funny stuff that I see about the show. Haven't done it in a minute. But I seen this tweet on Twitter. It was like, what was it? It was like, why do Gizelle look like Big Lotto when she older? And it was a picture of Gizelle squatting down with the peace sign, basically looking like the rapper Lotto. And that's what wig she had on this episode. So what Robyn and Gizelle are talking about is this outdoor podcast party. Robyn says that she isn't co-signing Gizelle not allowing Wendy and Karen to use her restroom. So Robyn is basically like, why are we doing this outside? Where are they going to use the restroom at? Gizelle says, well, everybody can use my restroom except for Karen and Wendy, which is ghetto as fuck. Don't have no shit if you ain't going to be able to host everybody correctly. And Robyn, I'm there with you on that. But the part that annoyed me was whenever she was in her confessional and she was all like, no, I'm not going to do this if you're going to treat everyone differently. Girl, since when do you have a moral compass of how people should be treated when your best friend is Gizelle? Goodbye. So now, y'all, we can move on to Karen. Karen's publicist comes to the house. And look, here we go. Kenya, I was thinking the same thing, okay? Because Robyn could have hosted the women at her house as well. But I feel like it was one of those things that was like full of shame because Robyn, I think, still lives in that townhouse while her new house is being built. So I don't think she wanted to invite anybody over to the townhouse, and Gizelle didn't want to invite anybody over to her house. So I think it's hilarious that you two think y'all are like the head honchos. Y'all think y'all the head bitches in charge. And don't neither one of y'all have a place to host. Okay? Y'all couldn't even rent anywhere, or was this in the middle of the pandemic? Like, what was going on? Y'all went to a restaurant for Robyn's birthday. They didn't have no party room in the back for y'all to rent. But okay, I guess we just gonna look over it, okay? I guess. So anyway, Karen, y'all. Her publicist comes over. Her publicist is named Robyn. She's dropping off the candles. And I thought it was funny because she's standing at the door saying to Karen, I have the box of candles outside. And I'm like, who do y'all think is going to come carry some heavy ass boxes in the house? Karen calls down Ray and his niece to come pack a big old box of glass candles into the house. That man is too old to be doing that. You cannot work that man to the bone. Karen, I think he's coming up on that age where he's not gonna be able to do it. I think y'all needed some type of dolly or a cart or something like that. Cause I was like, I know she's not about to ask Ray. She did. And she did. So we go through the box of candles. We also see some oils that Karen has. Karen is very careful to keep saying that this is already an extension of LaDon because she doesn't want anyone to think that she just created candles out of the blue. So she has to keep saying that this is an extension because she wants y'all to know that her brand is already established. Whereas Wendy is just creating candles, LaDon is already a home essentials brand or whatever y'all want to call it. So anyway, we see the candle. She has a scent called like Bohemian Flame or something like that. Doesn't really matter. But she made a shady comment. And I feel like it was shady without her even being shady. She said that Karen, LaDon, is retail ready to be sold in stores. Whereas Wendy is only e-com ready and she needs some brand identity first. I'm like, okay, I guess whatever you want to call it. So then after the publicists leaves Karen and Ray go outside. They start talking about landscaping. And then this is that clip that they've been showing us all season long. They have been showing us the same clip of Karen trying to grab Ray's phone. And the text message saying something like, hey, sweetheart, or hey, sugar, whatever. Trying to make it seem like he could potentially be cheating on her. I knew that was not even a thing. So anyway, the text message is a picture of some young, hot girl. Y'all know how that be in the spam comments and stuff like that. Karen, she's such a clown. She calls, Karen calls, thanks, LB. She calls the phone number back. Y'all, this is a spam number. Why are you giving these people your information? And she ends up saying, hi, this is Mrs. Ray Hugert. And Ray's like, why are you telling them our name? Why are you telling them my name? I'm like, this is some old people stuff if it ain't old people stuff. I thought it was cute because Karen and Ray are both so old. You cannot give these spam callers your information. Your extended warranty. Okay, so now y'all, let's go ahead and move on to Candice. Dorothy is at Candice's house and she's already on day 9. Dorothy has not gone home in 9 days. You need to kick your mama out. Your mama need to go home if her name ain't on the mortgage. She would irritate the hell out of me, especially after she was talking about Candice and Chris at the video shoot with Candice's coworkers, essentially. So Candice ends up asking Dorothy what was said at the video shoot. Dorothy says, I don't remember what was said. No, Mia didn't come up to me and ask me directly. It was just natural conversation. And then flashback. I didn't know he was going to quit his job. Flashback. Is he getting paid? I don't know. Flashback. You know the restaurant closed? Gossip, gossip, gossip. And it's like, really, Dorothy? That is not a healthy relationship, Candice. I really feel bad. I feel bad for you, honestly. I'm gonna say it just like that. I hate whenever people have toxic parents and they have to be like, well, that's just the way my mom is. Well, that's just the way that it is. Very much Candy from Real Housewives of Atlanta. So Candice, she shades Ashley. This was funny as hell, y'all. She ends up saying to her mom, until Chris is out here in hotel rooms with men, women, and billy goats, I don't need you saying nothing. I don't need you having no discussion about Chris. And y'all, that was in reference to Ashley and Michael. She said men, women, and billy goats. That was hilarious to me because y'all, at this point, we done heard so much. We don't know what Michael likes. So I guess she's saying Chris is not that bad. Or not bad at all. So what you want to do is talk about my man. Now, y'all, we will move on to Mia and her children. Mia and her kids meet up with mommy. Y'all, If Mia don't stop calling this woman mommy like she out of some, you know, Clueless movie, like Your Daddy's a Millionaire type shit, like, girl, mommy, we're gonna go eat with mommy. Anyway, they meet up with mommy. And Mia's mom basically doesn't do anything without checking in with her sister because she's essentially her living nanny. Mia is feeling some type of way about it because she's like, well, damn, you have other kids. And I feel you on that, Mia. Like, she should be able to tend to her other kids as well. Mia explains to her mom that she feels like since Mia's doing so well that she doesn't need her. So they have a moment. They start talking, they start crying. They say that they both want a better relationship with each other. And we also find out that her mom was actually in prison. We don't know for how long. She was sentenced to 20 years, but it didn't sound like she did 20 years. She's been out for 6 to 7 years. Immediately after she got out of prison, she went to rehab and moved in with her sister, which explains why she's so codependent on her sister. So, I mean, it's good that both of y'all want a better relationship, but I literally just cannot get past the simple fact that I cannot stand Mia. And that's just that on that. So I'm just like, girl, yes, Kenya, that's exactly what it is. Mia wants a relationship with her mom that she's never had, hence the mommy reference. Exactly. That's why she keeps calling her mommy, 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 because she feels like that's the most endearing form of mother, mama, mommy. So you keep trying to make it sound cute. You keep trying to dress it up, and it's just like, I see what you're doing. That's why I so cringe to hear a grown ass woman say mommy, because you're trying to fulfill what was going on when you were a kid. I'm not a psychologist, but I definitely can read context clues. Okay. So now we get into Wendy. Wendy has Karen and Skylar come over to her home. What I really liked about this scene was that Karen explains to Wendy that there's enough room in the industry for both her and Wendy to have candles. And I like that she basically was like, we're not competition. And I don't think she was being shady when she said it. I think that she meant well. Definitely. I think she really meant well. So a scholar comes by and Wendy is working on something, some sort of charity so she can give back to teachers so they have school supplies and stuff like that so they don't have to come out of pocket. We then find out that a scholar was an educator for 10 years. And I understand because my sister is a teacher and I have other people in my family that teach. And every year they have to spend money of their own just to make sure the kids have what they need. So I think it's really nice that Wendy's putting this together and that a scholar can talk about her background being an educator. So now, y'all, they start talking about what happened at the music video. Karen says that she doesn't think that Mia had ill intent whenever she was asking Dorothy about who gets paid. And I'm like, Karen, this ain't that situation. I think Karen thinks that this is a situation where she can take Mia and, get her under her wings and, basically get Mia together. Kind of like how she did Candice. You can't do that with Mia. Mia is ignorant. Mia has no home training. So I don't think that you're going to be able to train her, Karen, to acclimate herself amongst this group of women. So I think you're trying to give her benefit of the doubt because it absolutely was ill-intended, okay? Like, if you take that one situation, you may be like, not that bad. But just the simple fact that last episode before, she was in the kitchen talking to her husband about Candice. Like, why are you so obsessed? Like, if Candice's business is going to fail or her dreams of being an artist is going to fail, it's just going to fail. Why do you feel so opinionated like you can actually do something to help her in this situation? Girl, and that's the point I was making. Like, if Candice is going to fail by not having an experienced manager, then wouldn't that mean that Gil's franchises will fail because he brought you out of the strip club and had you run his businesses? So how that work? Okay. So anyway, back to Wendy, Skylar, and Karen, y'all. They start talking about the invitations that they have received from Gizelle and Robyn. Okay, Gordon, thank you so much. I call this man Gil every single week. Gordon, that's Mia's husband. So anyway, they get the invitations. The invitations say something about we invite friends and haters to the Shady podcast, blah, blah, blah. And people talk about how they think that it's weird that they addressed it as friends and haters. And Karen says, I think that they just want a hater. They do. They want a hater so bad. I'm like, come on. I really do, Kenya. I really do. So anyway, we also find out in this sit down with Wendy, Escala, and Karen that Wendy is planning a couples trip. I don't think she was intending on inviting everybody else because she said Juan probably wouldn't show up. And who was Gizelle gonna bring? Her luggage. Okay, that should have been the thumbnail for the video. The thumbnail for the video should have been Gizelle and her luggage. So if they do go on this trip and we get to see them on a cash trip, my thumbnail is going to be Gizelle and her damn luggage. Because who are you bringing, okay? Based on this episode, Gizelle claims she's not coming. But y'all know, if this is one of those trips that require a check, she going on that trip. So now, y'all, we can go ahead and get on to the main event. We can get on to the reasonably shady event. The first thing I wanted to talk about, y'all, is the setup. It was a cute tent, okay? They had a cute bartender, they had cute chairs, but it all was very like, y'all used to watch that show on TLC called something. It used to be called like My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding or something like that. Y'all tell me if y'all watch that show. Everything about Gizelle's style reminds me of the way that those girls used to dress on that show. The gaudy dresses, the eyeshadow, like everything was just like over the top, very 05. And that's kind of what the event was giving. It was cute, but it was giving very much that style because it was Gizelle's event. So Gizelle's walking around in a boot, pink jumpsuit, pink tennis shoes. She got her big lotto wig on. It's synthetic. It looks synthetic. So anyway, all the women start arriving, and Wendy actually shows up with champagne, which was a pretty nice gesture. Talisha, this is exactly what it is. It was given very much DIY. She couldn't get an Airbnb. Say it again. That's my point. It's like, but neither one of y'all have a place to host women, but y'all be the ones talking the most shit. How? Nobody has anything to host. Y'all could have rented a room in a restaurant, like I said. So anyway, Wendy comes with champagne. Karen ends up greeting all the women with candles and stuff like that. You see Wendy off in the distance, kind of side-eyeing because she's like, girl, are you trying to get your candles out before me? But yeah. Next, y'all. Once everybody gets there except Candice, because Candice is the latest one, Gizelle and Robyn start discussing the event. Robyn says, you know, we almost got into an argument. We had a difference of opinion about how this release party was going to be. Is this even a damn release party, y'all? I don't even know what to call it. It just felt so weird calling that a release party. Anyway, Robyn explains that they had a difference in opinion on how they wanted to run the event for the podcast, which was the event that they're at. And everybody's like, oh, really? Well, what was the difference? Robyn then explains that Gizelle wasn't going to, well, Robyn allows Gizelle to explain it. Gizelle says, I wasn't going to allow certain people into my house to use the restroom. Wendy says, do you mind telling me who those people were? She says, well, it was Karen and you. And Wendy says, well, that's funny because I wasn't even going to come. And I'm like, oh my gosh, here comes the mess, y'all. And Gizelle says, well, you were on the hater list. But then she ends up saying, well, nobody called you. Robyn is trying to defend Gizelle and says, nobody called you a hater. Robyn, you got on my damn nerves this whole episode because Robyn leans so into being the person that hides their hands that she tries to act as though what she's saying is logical. She tries to defend Gizelle by making it seem like everybody else is overreacting. And that's all she kept doing this entire episode. Yes, they want a mess. Why else would you bring up not wanting Karen and Wendy to use the bathroom? They didn't have to bring that up. The whole thing was mess. And Robyn keeps trying to act like she's just so level-headed. Robyn, please be next. Please be next and follow in Cynthia's footsteps. Please, okay? So Wendy says, I never talked about your home. I only talked about your fashions. And then they showed the flashback of her saying that Gizelle feels like she don't have to dress because she thinks she has a pretty girl syndrome. So yeah, y'all, that was that. So now, like I told y'all, Gizelle and Robyn have been on some GEB sorority incorporated shit this entire season long. Gizelle does what? Giselle breaks out the paddles. And one side of the paddle says reasonable. The other side of the paddle says shady. My notes. My notes. Sorority shit is what it says. So pretty much they're gonna play a game, and the girls have to flip on which side of the pedal they think is right. Pedal, paddle, panel, all these words coming out of my head at once, y'all. So the first question: is it reasonable or is it shady to hold on to a grudge after an apology? Now, y'all, these questions start out small and then they end up getting more and more and more specific. You get some people saying reasonable, some people saying shady, but majority of the people are saying reasonable. And this is in reference to Gizelle and Karen getting into it. So whatever. Next, y'all. Is it reasonable or is it shady to talk about a friend when they're not they're not there, they're not around? Now, anybody with common sense would say that this is shady. And Gizelle and Robyn end up saying that it's reasonable. What? So then Gizelle ends up mentioning Mia. And this is where Wendy and Mia start getting into it. They start arguing about whether Wendy should have told Candice what conversations Mia was having with Miss Dorothy at the video shoot. So then, y'all, Candice shows up. This is where the editing starts to go wild. It was so funny. Candice shows up late. She's tiptoeing out the car and she's looking around like she's in a scary movie. The screen is gray and it's like, Candice is like, what am I doing here? Where are we at? Bugs are all in her face. Karen starts tripping off of this vaccine. She's seeing lights and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is fun. I really wish that they would edit. I know. I wish that they would edit like this every single time. Shit was hilarious. And it was so much going on, y'all, that it's honestly like super hard to explain every single moment that happened, okay? So this is where we're at, y'all. They're having a conversation. Was it the wrong time for Wendy to tell Candice what Mia was asking Miss Dorothy? In my opinion, it was not the wrong time. I think that she should have told her regardless. I think that she was being a friend. Candice ends up showing up and they said, what are you talking about? Candice says, we're actually talking about, or Mia says to Candice, we're actually talking about you. So in Candice's opinion, Candice just thinks that Wendy was being a friend. She doesn't think that it was shady or anything else. Now, if you're smart, you'll realize that the green-eyed bandits try to manipulate you into thinking that you're not making common sense. You're not being logical. The argument was never about whether it was the right or wrong time. It was a simple fact that y'all wanted to start shit with Wendy. So y'all had to find something wrong with Wendy telling Candice what Mia was saying, regardless of if Mia was wrong or right. So it was even more annoying because Robyn was wearing that fucking blazer. She's always trying to act like she's just so level-headed. And I cannot get with her at all. She's sitting there telling Wendy that Wendy's doing the most. Wendy needs to calm down. Wendy's talking oh so calm. You're trying to manipulate her into thinking that you and Gizelle are making sense. And I really would love for somebody to rock their shit one day. I'm so sorry. I would love for somebody to rock their shit. And I think this is why I got so upset with Monique last season. Because if anybody should have rocked Gizelle, it should have been Monique. But she did it to Candice anyway. But we ain't going to talk about that because that was last season and we're moving on from that. So now, Mia says that she was only asking questions because she didn't want to come to anything low budget. She didn't want to come to anything low budget with her big ass feet. So now, Candice ends up saying, well, your mom was low budget. And I was like, ooh. And then that's when Gizelle all of a sudden tries to bring out her moral compass that she doesn't have, the imaginary one. And she says, well, I wonder if Candice knows anything about Mia's mom. She probably doesn't want to go there. And honestly, y'all, in my opinion, if I was Candice, it would be F Mia's mom. Fuck Mia's mom. I wouldn't give a damn. I would go in on Mia and her family and everything else. Now, I have to ask myself, where is the line drawn? Because I didn't want her talking about Ashley's postpartum body. I didn't mind her coming for Ashley's forehead, Ashley's mouth, but talking about her body 4 weeks after having a baby, I was like, I wish she would have used a different insult. But is that not the same as basically talking shit about somebody's mama who used to be on drugs? Y'all correct me in the comments. Is it not the same? Either way it goes, I was here for Candice basically getting Mia and her fucking mama together. I don't care. Okay. So anyway, next, y'all, Robyn ends up saying that it was okay for Mia to ask those questions. So I'm just like, y'all are full of ish. Jasmine says, your mama jokes are outdated. LB says, hey now. Corinne says, F Ashley's wide body. Psycho Jordan says, Bravo needs to break up Robyn and Gizelle so they can stand on their own. And Candice, thank you for this information, Talisha. Talisha says, Candice says she didn't know about her mom until the show aired. I'm sure she didn't know. But even if she did know, I still would not care because you acting like you about that life. Are you about it or you not about it? Mind your business, okay? Mind your business. So now, Gizelle ends up talking about the quality of Candice's video shoot. She's whispering off to the side saying it definitely wasn't high budget. We were in a parking lot. And then the camera pans out, shout out to editing, and guess where the women are at? In a damn parking lot. So who are you to make fun of Candice's video shoot, saying they could have went to parking lots anywhere? And in all honesty, Gizelle, y'all could have pulled up that tent shit in front of the Walmart parking lot, and it would have made no difference. Probably would have been a little more quiet, less construction. So I really need them to understand, like, what's what. What's up, Jay Antoinette? Jay Antoinette says that it is a slippery slope, talking about Ashley's body and then talking about her mom. It is a slippery slope. So I'm like, is it not the same? Kendra says, leave the parents and kids out of all conversations together. I agree, but still, I don't like Mia. They couldn't afford a venue. I don't think they could at all, okay? So now, y'all, the arguments continue, and they end up asking another reasonable or shady question. They said, isn't it reasonable or is it shady to inquire about major physical changes in your friend after you heard about rumors of their husband cheating? Y'all, how long are we going to talk about this? How long are y'all going to talk about Wendy and her family and get cursed out every damn time? Gizelle, somebody asks you, where's Jamal every damn time. Robyn, for somebody to point out that you're not in a real relationship every damn time. Why do y'all keep coming for Wendy? It's stupid, okay? Y'all be sure to like the video up as well. So, Wendy, she has an excellent response. Wendy says, well, this is the same blog that alleged that you had an STD. So if my rumor's true, then I guess that's true. And when she said that, I said, oh my gosh, not an STD. And then Gizelle ends up saying, but I don't have one. But I don't have one. Oh, so you're not tripping on it. Okay, bet. So this is where Robyn keeps telling her to chill. And Escala, this is what Escala speaks of. Shout out to Escala. Escala says you can't tell her how to react when y'all are coming at her looking for a response. And that's what Mia says, who is she, a mediator? Who are you? Mia has tried to be a mediator this entire time. You throwing a goddess party. You're at the new interlude episode talking about, I think Gizelle has a nice heart. And now, because you don't see Escala as holding as much value as Robyn and Gizelle, now she's a mediator? Bitch! Oh my gosh, y'all, I cannot stand Mia. I think this episode took me to a new level of I cannot take Mia at all. She came for Escala. Escala was trying to keep it cute. She said, keep it cute over there, Mia. Just be quiet. Like, Mia was trying to light her up without cursing. And I was sitting there watching the TV and I was like, you can cuss. You can cuss. You can call her a hoe. You can call her a bitch. You can cuss. So then she ended up saying, sit over there and be quiet with your hoe ass. And that's whenever Mia says, well, only insecure women call other women hoes. Women uplift each other. Okay, sure. Sounds like, stripper logic. Verse this and verse that is what it sounds like. So a scholar responds. So after all that is over and Karen is hallucinating and editing is going insane, Karen says, my vaccine is acting up. I'm about to go home. So the women disperse. Candice and Escala walk down to Gizelle's house because they want to see the closet. Escala begins walking down. And then she said, oh no, I'm good. She said, the pavement ain't even laid out. It ain't even really no door. She says, I will come back when it's completely done. And I feel you on that, 110%. I would not roll an ankle trying to see Gizelle's little bitty closet with the IKEA cubes in it, okay? Because Gizelle is so lame. Gizelle is so low budget in a high budget costume is what I feel like. So I wouldn't have walked down there either at all, okay? So I thought that was hilarious. And then they end up having to move Candice's car because all the women are trying to leave and Candice's car is parked outside and they let Grace move the car. Y'all, this is how trifling Robyn and Gizelle are. And I'm glad that they actually left this part of the I'm glad that they left this part of the episode in there because at first I was like, y'all didn't have to leave that in there. But if anything, this shows y'all how fucking trifling Robyn and Gizelle are. So Candice allows Grace to move her car. Robyn ends up riding with Grace for encouragement just to make sure she don't tear no shit up. When Grace is backing her car up, she gets curb rash on Candice's tire. And whenever she hits something, Grace says to Robyn, what was that? And Robyn says, nothing. Robyn literally told her nothing. You know damn well that girl hit that curb, but you're trying to tell her nothing because you don't want it to be caught on camera and you don't want anybody to know that she hit Candice's car. Now, the damage could have been worse, which is why Robyn said nothing, but you're trifling as hell for trying to hide that. So they go back up. When they go back up, no, Grace does not need to be behind the wheel at all. And I don't know why. Oh, LB. Gizelle's closet is filled with QVC ensembles. Yes, Gizelle is still calling on the damn phone line, getting her fashions, in the little infomercials. Hi, I'd like to order very much so. So anyway, they go back in the house. They tell Candice that she did a really good job, parking the car or whatever. Candice comes outside and gets ready to go home and she sees a scratch and she's like, now, the other thing that I feel like cannot go left unsaid is Candice. Candice is really allowing Robyn and Gizelle to be on their bullshit for the sake of being the peacemaker and the middleman in this group. Because while you're upset with Mia, I wish that she kept that same energy for Robyn and Gizelle because they were doing the same damn shit. You would at least think that she was at least a little bit upset with Gizelle, but no, as soon as the podcast party is over and you find out that Gizelle was being messy, you want to walk down to her closet and see her clothes. So Candice, I think she's just playing smart and she's choosing her battles, and I guess to her, that's not a battle worth having. But all in all, y'all, this episode was hilarious. I have to watch this episode one more time back because the first time I watched it just to take notes. I got to watch it again just so I can laugh, y'all. So, again, let me run y'all down for all the videos that I had come out today and the videos that you can expect this week. So, today, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City has been posted, okay? Cynthia Bailey leaving Real Housewives of Atlanta has been posted. Love and Marriage Huntsville has been posted, and you are here for Real Housewives of Potomac. So, y'all, that is 4 videos on a Monday, okay? Now, I will see y'all on Thursday for Married at First Sight. I'll also see y'all for Ooh Ladies First panel, and then once the weekend comes around, I'll see y'all again for Love and Marriage Huntsville and all that all over again. So, with that being said, thank y'all for tuning in. I hope y'all have fun in this review. Be sure to like the video up, share the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.